First of all, the sealed indictment is supposed to be sealed. It's not supposed to be revealed, is it not?
It is indeed, Brian. This was actually we are now getting close to a series of statements by the president that put him on the long road to impeachable offenses. At that news conference, the president of the United States violated a court order of the United States District Court for either the Eastern District of Virginia or the District of Columbia, where this sealed indictment apparently exists. He's not allowed to say that. A president can declassify a document, but he cannot unseal an indictment. Only a federal court can do that. Whoever is the chief judge of either one of those districts should issue a show cause order for the United States attorney in that district as to why the United States attorney or the president should not be held in contempt. That was unbelievable. This is from our professor president, the so-called constitutional scholar. There's just no doubt about it. What he did was illegal. And, of course, I can't believe how stupid the press is, particularly I give Ed Henry A+. But the AP reporter, Julie Pace, who was on Fox News Sunday, said it was kind of unusual for the president to talk about a sealed indictment in a public setting. It wasn't unusual. It was illegal. And by the way, apropos of that, the president, he said, I got bin Laden.
I thought you'd like that.
I didn't get it in 11 months, but I got him. Well, guess what? We didn't know where bin Laden was. That's why it took so long. But we do know where the perpetrators of Benghazi are, and we have known since within 48 hours of the assault. The president was dissembling at his worst. But worse than that, he's the chief law enforcement officer of the United States. He revealed a sealed indictment. This is a big deal.
So Joe, just to clear this up for people, because just by saying there is a sealed indictment, that is revealing it. That's against the law. He didn't open it up. He didn't say who was indicted. He didn't give the specifics.
It doesn't matter. They're not even supposed to know there is a sealed indictment. That's a violation of grand jury secrecy. It's a violation of a court order. It's unbelievable. And the way he did it, this nonchalance, this, cool
shrugging.
hand Luke crapola.
Hey, Joe, let me continue down this road, though. Now, potentially, if we do end up indicting someone, or we have indicted them, but if we actually get somebody with Benghazi and we arrest them and we want to try them in federal court, did the president in any way, by revealing the sealed indictment, did he jeopardize the prosecution?
Probably not, but he did jeopardize the lives of people who may be trying to find these people on the ground in Libya, and I assume that we do have somebody there trying to find these people, although with this president you never know, because as you know, he doesn't want to capture people. He wants to kill them, because if he captures them, he has to either try them, which is very hard to do,
or put them in Gitmo,
which he will not do. By the way, a little bit of information, as you know, you heard from us first, and you guys knew first about we had troops ready to deploy in Croatia to go that night of September the 11th, 2012, to rescue Americans. We have learned that one of the reasons the administration is so deeply concerned, we have been told that there were 400 surface-to-air missiles stolen, and that they are all on or about in the hands of many people, and that the biggest fear in the U.S. intelligence community is that one of these missiles will be used to shoot down an airliner.
Hold on a minute, because this is big stuff. This is really important stuff.
400 missiles.
What was going on there was they were
from Libya.
They were taking the Libyan surface-to-air missiles, the CIA, and they were sending them where?
That's a good question. I don't have an answer
Syria
to that.
rebels? Maybe the Syrian rebels?
Do not have an answer to that, but we have learned, as you know, as a result of Victoria and I representing the whistleblowers, a lot of people have come forward to share information with us. Some of it is verifiable, some of it is not. This information comes from former intelligence officials who stay in constant contact with people in the special ops and intelligence community, and it is pretty clear that the biggest concern right now are 400 missiles which have been diverted in Libya and have gotten into the hands of some very ugly people. And they are worried, specifically according to these sources, about an attempt to shoot down an airliner.
Yes. surface-to-air missiles. That's what they do. They shoot down planes.
That's exactly right.
And now they're in the hands of Al-Qaeda operatives.
That is what these people are telling us.
And, these are surface-to-air missiles that we believe, and you believe, based on your sources, Joe DiGenova, that were at the annex that night on September 11th, 2012.
That I do not know whether they were at the annex, but it is clear that the annex was somehow involved in the process of the distribution of those missiles.
And so why in the world, in a situation like that, would you want to delay the entry of the FBI down there to investigate what was going on?
Very good question, Brian.
That's a great question, isn't it?
The reason is very simple. Because it happened before an election, before the 2012 election. Remember, September the 11th, 2012, no preparation at the American installations actually anywhere in the world. Can you imagine if that had happened on George Bush's watch?
Oh my
if
God.
there had been a second attack? This is why we shut down the 19 embassies recently. They were afraid that there was going to be a missile attack on one of the embassies. Remember, you can take a shoulder-held missile and shoot it into an embassy, not just in the sky.
Yeah. Wow,
and
Joe.
What happened is the reason they lied about, in other words, remember the famous demonstration and the phony video
YouTube
and all
video.
of that?
Mm-hmm.
That's what this was all about. That's why they're so worried. That's why they have lied repeatedly about what happened in Benghazi, because they are now responsible for all of the stepchildren of violence that happened as a result of this. This is a very serious matter. And when you compound it with the flippancy of the President of the United States, who talks about a sealed indictment to cover his fanny, to make it look like he's doing something, when in fact he has done nothing. We have reached a level of cynicism, personally, on the part of this president that is staggering. He's not a president anymore. He's a talk show host.
Well, I've always said that we would find out the truth about what was going on there when we learned what was happening at the annex. And if indeed there were surface-to-air missiles there, that explains a lot. It also explains why you wouldn't want the FBI to go in and look around. You needed to give the CIA time to clean it up.
And that's why Susan Rice lied
Joe,
on 5 television shows on that Sunday.
All right, that's huge. But this is going to have some reverberations today in the news cycle. Joe, thanks for sharing it with us this morning on Mornings on the Mall.